Hey guys, how you doing? This is Manga etc. and I'm here today to bring you the review for One Piece episode 968, which was basically the rest of Gold Roger's final journey. And I don't really have much to say about this episode really, but entitled, is that the word I'm looking for? But it involved them going to Wano, Zhao, and then Raftel. Well, Leftel. Now, so yeah, like I said, really, there's not much to say about it. There was that whole thing with how Toki got sick during the journey, so she could no longer travel with them, so they left her at Wano, uh, and Dogstorm and Neko stayed with her as well. There's also the bit where we have and Momosuke and the daughter as well, obviously. And there's the bit where at the very end of the journey, just before they went to Laftel, we have Buggy get sick, and therefore we leave off Buggy and Shanks and probably some other members of the Gold Roger Pirates as well, but I'm not certain about that. But it just got me thinking, like years down the line, once Gold Roger became the Pirate King and disbanding his crew and everybody else went on their separate ways. When you come across someone famous and you're like, just imagine this, just picture this. You're in the One Piece world. You're not a pirate. You're just a normal civilian, and you come across someone who was in the Gold Roger Pirates. The first thing, this is how I see a scenario like that going. So, like, oh wow, you're part of the Gold Roger Pirates, and the person's like, yeah man, I was part of the Gold Roger Pirates, and then you ask them, so what was the final island like? What was Laftel like? And then you're the member of the Gold Roger Pirates, and you're like, well, about that, I wasn't part of that journey. Yeah, you can kind of understand where I'm coming from, with it. To miss out on that final journey, it's probably a big deal. It'd be a very big deal for me. So I can kind of understand where Buggy was coming from. Yeah, man was sick. Buggy was sick. But he's like, no, I'm going to left. I was a part of this from maybe not jump for Buggy, but I've been part of this final journey. I put in the work. I'm going to see Left Out, and if I was Shanks, I would have been like, bye, Buggy. Get better soon, bro. I'll let you know how it was. I'll bring you back a souvenir. Honestly, to be a member of the Roger Pirates, especially that final voyage, which involved them finding out where the Lost Island is, and to not see the Lost Island, you lose like a lot of street cred. You lose a lot of street cred. If you're part of that final journey and you die for the cause of the final journey, you don't lose no street cred, but you won't gain any for reaching the final island kind of thing. But yeah, that's just something that came to mind while watching this episode, and I wanted to point it out. Another thing I want to mention about this episode that I liked was there's a scene where you see Gold Roger, he's by himself, he's locked himself away, kind of, well, not locked himself away, but he's taken a moment to himself, and we basically just see his illness at work. And it got me thinking, that was not in the manga, but I think it was a very good touch, because something you got to remember about Gold Roger's final journey is that for the entirety of it, or majority, I forget, but regardless, he is sick. And most of the time we see him on screen, especially in this flashback, he's happy-go-lucky. And so his poker face is fairly strong. And I like this scene because, one, it got me thinking about all of this, because you see him happy-go-lucky for the majority of the time. So I need to remember that he's sick in these moments. So he's got a very strong poker face, and it shows care for his crew, because he doesn't want his crew to see that he's sick. And I liked this bit again also because it showed his vulnerable side. We always see the strong, the confident, the cocky, the smiley, the happy-go-lucky Roger, but this is the first and probably only time we see a vulnerable side to Good Roger, and I like that. To put it simply, I like seeing that. So one thing that got me thinking while watching the episode, another thing I should say rather, that got me thinking while watching the episode is how exactly would they portray Laftel when they finally get to it. And I like what they did with it. You know, they had it clouded, shrouded in mystery. So I like that because I would rather they do something like that than show us something more detailed and it just be completely wrong because we didn't see it in the manga. It would be wrong to first see it in anime, and it would be also wrong and just highly offensive to show us something which is in no way near Oda's final vision. So I like that as well. So obviously when they reached Laftel, they find out everything. They find out, you know, the Void Century, the ancient weapon stuff, and just everything. You know what it is. You know what it is. They find out everything, and to this, Roger and his whole crew laugh, and hence the name Laughter. So that happens, but what you need to remember, what we need to remember as a fandom, is that Rayleigh said something on the lines of to the Straw Hats that if you guys are to find it, your response may not be the same. And it's funny because I was having this conversation in real life with one of my friends, and yeah, we were just having this conversation about it recently, and it's and he's the question that came up was that why would Luffy not laugh as well? And I simply said something on the lines of because it might be a situational thing. It might be funny at the time of he found it, God, Roger found it, but when Luffy gets there, it might be a whole different situation. You might see it in a whole new light and therefore come to different meanings, different determinations. That's basically what I said. And yeah, that's everything I've got to say about this episode. Let me know what you thought about this episode. I will be giving it a 3-star rating. Like always, guys, I was asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.